Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Great British Design Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Great British Design Podcast. Sorry for the laughs. This is take number 2. I'm Andy, and I'm here with Nick and Harry.
Hello.
Hi.
I guess we'll get straight into what we always start with. Was what have we been doing this week, project-wise, design-wise? Does anyone want to start? Anyone done anything exciting?
Nick wants to start, I think.
Oh,
Do I want to start, do I? So,
Yeah.
I've heard he does.
Not been extremely exciting this week, but today I did print my first Flexi Rex.
It's pretty cool.
Just for reference, I'm showing on the camera a Flexi Rex, which you can find all over the internet, and it's basically to test clearances when you're with your 3D printer, and it's turned out okay. So it's pretty cool.
Pretty
I was
cool.
pretty happy with that. Oh,
Yeah,
I found another thing to print. It was like a Pikachu model, and it was. I looked, and it was like 10.5 hour print. I was like, I'm not ready to commit that hard just yet. So I think let's find something that's maybe 3 hours or less. And I found the Flexi Rex.
Wait, is that the longest
cool.
print you've ever done? 3 hours?
My longest print is 4.5 hours, I think. I'm a bit too scared to dedicate like a really long. Or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know.
Do it.
The standard,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'll do the Pikachu tomorrow. And
Can you make it
was
smaller?
Yes, he can.
I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Drop it
But
down.
I don't know if it's worth just committing to a really long print just to see what happens.
Nah, just
I
up
don't
the
know.
speed like 10 times. Be done in no time.
That's how it works.
But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I started working on another 3D printed project, which is designing a desk organizer. And I set myself
Cool.
like a clear brief and clear constraints, and that's going okay because my desk is so messy and I've got such a small desk space. I've got like pens, I've got my phone, I've got post-it notes, and I thought, why not print something to organize my desk a bit? So I've been sketching up some ideas for that, and hopefully going to get something printed by the end of the week. That's the plan. But
Sounds good. Is that one
yeah.
for the website? A blog post?
I think I could
Instagram?
do. I think
Instagram?
I'm going to add like a mini project section on the website, just like for my weekly. I'm going to try and do like a project a week, and that doesn't necessarily have to be design related. It can just be like practice this in Photoshop, for example. Like, I think the thing they're advertising loads is like animals of horns glowing and stuff like that, which is quite interesting. So could practice that as well. That could be like a project. I don't know, but
Wait, it could be.
yeah, it could be. So I was thinking of adding like a small weekly section on the website just to
Yeah, why
for
not?
small little projects, I guess. So yeah,
I want
But,
to do
yeah.
that.
I mean, it would be cool. It'd be cool. And I've been reading a bit still reading Lord of the Rings as well. Super interesting. Fellowship of the Ring, and the amount of lore there is about hobbits is pretty interesting.
Well, if you're interested
Quite
in hobbits, I
overwhelming
guess.
at the same time as well, but it's a good book so far. I felt like I should have just got the audio book, to be perfectly honest.
That's what I think every time I buy a book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
borrowing
buy
it from my
books.
housemate, so I guess there's that.
No, that's fine. So I get like
But
20 pages in, and then I'm like, I mean, I always fall asleep when I'm reading books. I read like 5
Yeah.
pages, and then I'm shattered. I'm just like,
I'm
struggling to keep my eyes open.
I read this thing of like I'm a really inefficient reader and I'm a really slow reader, and it was like a TEDx talk, so put it as you will, TEDx is I could do a TEDx talk, but it was about how to increase your speed at reading.
We didn't want to piss anyone off.
I mean, very reputable people that do TEDx talks. So yeah. And it was like how to speed up reading, and I think most people when they're reading, they do actually say the word in their head.
That's how I
And then
read.
if you can't pronounce it, you even try and pronounce it in your head when you're reading it, and that's what slows you down. And the trick was to like put your tongue against the roof of your mouth, and then also have like a card so you can't see the line below, and that way you're forced to not pronounce the word, and you can read really fast, and it works. I've tried it
but
out,
if
and
you
honestly,
put-
I'm
if you
I
speeding
love
through the
this too.
pages.
Yeah, but if you put the tongue at the roof of your mouth, you can still pronounce it in your head.
Yeah, but you
it
don't.
isn't-
It's
you-
harder to.
when you're
You can't really
pronouncing
speak
it
normally,
like,
right?
in your head. You don't speak it. You know, you're not
No,
reading
you,
it
like,
out loud.
You do move your tongue a little bit though. Like
I don't.
even if you say it in your head, you do kind of like you say it in. It's not just all in your head. You do actually try and speak it, even though you don't say it.
Okay, I'm
At
gonna
least
give that
that's
a go.
how I do. So yeah. I mean, it's an interesting technique, but it seems to sped up
I'll
my reading a
definitely give it a
bit.
go.
If it works,
Maybe
it
it's just the
works.
card trick that's helped more. I'm not sure. Of like
See,
blocking out the line below. But
You didn't attack this in a very scientific way, did you?
You
should
didn't
have
do one
added
at a time.
One
Yeah.
change.
2 variables.
Yeah.
mate, it was a TEDx talk.
Activating
Oh,
Nick's
yeah.
trap card. The card.
Oh dear. Well, how about you, Harry? Have you been up to much?
I've been somewhat busy. Yeah, I spent. Well, I didn't do any real work at work last week. We moved premises, and my company didn't hire any moving men, so we moved 20 odd years worth of stuff from one site in Reading to the other, which was not what I
A
wanted
good use
to
of
be
your
doing.
time.
Yeah, so that was what I did at work, but at home I did my classic thing and started a new project without finishing the last 4. So I've got another thing on the go.
Yeah.
I am planning to design and make my own 3D printer, just so I can have more 3D printers really, and then I can multiply printers even quicker. But that's my plan. That I'm currently just sort of working out the design. I need to work out the bill of materials of all the things I'll need. That should be fun anyway. God knows how I'm going to do the electronics.
3D print another 3D printer.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
it.
And I want to make it better than my other one, so that's the main challenge. And I
That'd
also,
be very cool.
which might be pushing the limits a bit, I'd like to make it compatible for different tools. So in theory, move the print head, put a Dremel bit in there, so it could be like a CNC router, or maybe even put a laser head or a laser module there and have some sort of at least laser inscribing. So that would be really cool because they're really expensive machines on their own, and if I can make one, that'll save me a lot of money.
So you're thinking
be awesome.
one weekend job kind of situation there, Harry?
Well, no, I don't think so. But
It would be pretty cool though.
it would be
Yeah.
really cool.
I'd love
Save a
Maybe
lot of space
laser.
as well if you had everything in one.
Yeah, just sort of change the tools out and then do your thing. I think
Could-
the laser module would be the most useful for me because I do like leatherwork stuff, and if I could engrave designs or something on leather, that'd be really cool. I don't necessarily know if I'd be able to get enough power to the laser module to be able to cut leather, but if I could, that'd be amazing also, because that's the longest part of
That'd be
leatherworking
awesome.
is cutting it out, making sure it's the right size and stuff. So that'd be really cool. That'd be really, really cool. But early stages, I've got a massive Word document full of links. You guys, you wouldn't want to see how many tabs I have open on Chrome right now.
No.
It's
Oh,
pretty
no.
disgusting, but
You're not that guy, are you?
not normally, but I am today. But yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. Did that, and I also made finished the casting a plant pot project. I might be making it a video, but I think that we're going to talk about that later in this episode. Yeah, but that's
Sounds
me.
good. So you did finish a project then?
Well, thing is, the plant pot project was... I've already done a plant pot project. This was just entirely to make a YouTube video out of it. So, like,
Okay.
I've like half finished that. I finished the design, yeah. But, yeah.
How did it turn out?
Well, I
Is
can
it okay?
show the camera
Oh.
now.
Check the camera.
Yeah,
My little
anyone
plant
listening on
pot.
Spotify,
Oh,
there's a
beautiful.
YouTube
Wait, can I-
version.
Oh,
That's
the
really
wrong
nice,
way.
though. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
glorious.
Nice little plant pot action. Yeah, it's all right.
That's gorgeous.
Well,
I
I'm
love it.
sure some of my mum's cactuses will be, or cacti, should I say, will be in there.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, that's me. That's me.
That sounds good.
Wow. So you both
Thank you.
showing me up. I've done very little
Slacking.
last week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't have anything properly on the go project wise right now. Last week was just super stressful work. Like there's just projects and projects and projects. Like we have our company going 7 days a week for the next 6 weeks or something. So it's just
Is that for a product release?
Quite intense.
for lots of different projects going on. There's like new mezzanine being built, like
Ooh.
two of them. Then there's a new.
I hate mezzanines. I had to carry so many things down the stairs in mezzanines
they
last
suck.
week. I
They
don't want to
suck.
see another mezzanine.
But yeah, and there's just loads of other projects going on, so it's a bit stressful. So work's kind of taken it out of me. I haven't really done too much. I've done a little bit on my website. There's still a little bit more that I kind of want to do, sort out my homepage still. But yeah, done a little bit of that, and I've been sketching just for fun, like no project sketches or anything, just some ideas that are just randomly in my head. I think I've done 3 in the last week or something. Just just something to kind of chill me out.
Yeah, I like
Um,
those sketches.
Yeah.
Quite cool renders, aren't they? Sketch renders.
Yeah, well, I'm
on
just
your Instagram.
kind of trying different techniques really. So this is just one where I just go over it with like a black, I think it's called like mono line or something, where it's all just the same line thickness, and then it's kind of more like cartoony more than anything. So it's like I go around the shadows where like it will all have like a smooth black shadow and then a smooth white highlight along it, and then I just go along with a soft brush over the top of that. I've been doing it on Procreate, and yeah, it's just I'm just trying new stuff.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so I think I can't remember what my first one was, but I thought of just the one was a water gun. I was just randomly thinking about summer and a water gun, and then I was like, well, that kind of looks like the ray gun from Call of Duty Zombies. So I just
Oh, yeah, I
changed
remember
it.
the post
I just
now.
changed it, and I was pretty happy with that. And then I kind of thought,
Evolved from a
what if I
water gun
made
to a ray
that?
gun.
What if I physically made that? And that'd be pretty damn cool.
That would be
So,
cool.
it's-
I will expect a text and a STL file in an email.
I mean, I wasn't. Maybe. I mean, it'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's it really. Mine's short and sweet. I've not done a lot.
It was only short because you rattled through it all. I was going to ask, what changes did you make to your website? How have you made it a better experience for viewers?
So I've been fiddling around with, just because I have so many tabs. Like there's so many. So I got projects on there, like the design projects. I got the branding section. I got YouTube thumbnails. I've got the about section and stuff. And I want to kind of merge my about section and my home section to just have a link to everything. So I want like my home section to have a nice basically block where it can link to everything, because like right now it kind of links to like 3 of my sub tabs, and I just don't really like how it looks. I just want there to be a way where it looks nice, and I mean I have been doing it, but I can't show you because it's not published. But yeah, and then having the about section on the front, just like scroll down a little bit. I don't feel like it needs to be its own page.
No, it really doesn't, does it?
And then I'm thinking about having my CV, resume, whatever you call it, on there, like yours, Harry. I've seen yours is on there, so I was thinking about doing a similar.
Yeah.
I need to finish that.
I think we're in the same sort of spot. I've got way too many titles, and I want
There's
to add
so many
more,
tabs. Yeah,
because I wanted
You
to
have
have
a lot
like
of tabs on your website, don't you?
I wanted to have like work portfolio stuff, like actual client work or portfolio stuff through work, and then I wanted to have my like personal projects. I do load of them. I didn't really want them like in the same section. I couldn't find any way apart from just adding another tab to display them separately, and it's really annoying. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. At the moment, they're just all in one block of these are things I've designed, and they have to then like read into it to see if it was a client or a private thing, which I don't like at all. But I'm feeling a little limited by Squarespace for that. Exactly how I want it. I guess, that's the downside of having a template-based website. There's only certain amount of things you can do. You can't have it fully customized. So I'm sure I'll either change provider or work out a different way to display it all. But it's just too much. It's just too many pages.
I've certainly found some limitations when it comes to, well, I'm using Wix, but I mean they do pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Same service, different name. And they've got this service where it's like an automated service, and they have like full-on customability where you can do anything you want from a template. So you still choose an initial template, and then you can customize it to your heart's content. And then they have another one which is an automated thing. So essentially, they give you again like blocks of text or galleries you can add in, and then it basically automatically optimizes it for phones and different screens and everything. It does kind of codes everything straight away, so you don't need to then go in and make the changes yourself to the phone and things like that.
Yeah,
but doing that has just been really limiting.
Squarespace
there's less than you can do.
Yeah.
I think that they're all the same. Like I said, if you want a really specific way of showing it, which the more you have on there, the sort of more you might want it a certain way, because or it'll end up like mine, and I just have like 6 or 7 tabs of different things, and if someone's going to skim through your website, they're never going to click on all the different tabs. So I feel like I really need a way to sort of show everything in as fewer pages as possible, but without it being too cluttered on each page. So
I feel like having the work on the front on the landing page is probably the best thing to do. I think like
that's what I want to try and do.
Straight away, like if a client was to, or someone was to come on your website, they scroll down and instantly the work's right in front of them. And they're like, okay, this guy does this. Like, okay. And then if they're interested, then they probably would explore further. I just feel like that's the thing that was going to retain someone on the website.
I think
it's also hard, but
I think I'll probably do it like that eventually. The only problem with mine is because I did so many different things. I have like a full leatherworking section because I wanted to sell some wallets, photography because I wanted to sell some photography prints, and I wanted to keep them separate for that reason. So that's why I have them all separate, or like my design stuff. Because if someone came to my website, in theory, if I ever set it up for leatherwork stuff, and they just see all my product design professional portfolio, and then it might distract them. So that's why I did it like I did. But I actually
would you consider making separate websites for each? Do you think, or
that's the ideal thing? But then I'm paying like £15 a month per website.
Yes.
Per website,
and I'm not going to be making enough money to cover that on my sales. I'll only be selling the odd thing here and there anyway. It's just I wanted to do it as a little thing on the side, and then if I end up making individual websites with built-in shops, that's the higher pay package anyway.
Can you not? I was going to say, you can get the free template. I don't know if you can use
the
e-commerce stuff on that.
The commerce stuff is on a higher tier thing.
I think you have to pay,
So,
pay more.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain, and I just didn't want to do that because I was like, it needs to all be in one until I start actually selling things.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's hard. Web design is hard. Funny that.
even with a website that does it for you.
Yeah.
Imagine coding a website for yourself. Oh
God.
Yeah, if you. I mean,
I would be so picky.
Magicians in the world.
It would kill me. I think
these are really good. If you want to make a quick change, you can. I can't imagine trying to make a quick change on a coding your own.
I mean, I'm sure people who are good at it would tell.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine me making.
No, that's what I'm saying. Me.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all up to date, I guess.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we're going on our topic for this week, which is
of the week.
Oh yeah, we're still nicking his pipes, whacking out the jingle.
I'm actually going to quit this podcast if you keep making a jingle. I'm just going to run.
Maybe that's what I'll do this week.
So we're going for that's your weekly project for next week.
Yeah. write a song.
So we're going to be talking about YouTube, design in YouTube, just YouTube in general. Designs.
Very interesting.
Do you want to start us off, Andy? As you're the YouTuber of old.
Well, I
with a
mean,
backlog of videos.
yeah, I
2
mean,
channels.
I've been making YouTube videos for a hell of a long time, off and on. I used to just make gaming things, but yeah, recently come onto the design scene.
Sorry to interject, but how do you want to say like how many subscribers you had back in the day, or is that not relevant for you right now?
I made a gaming channel with my friends, like school friends, in like 2011, I think. Oh, it's just like 10 years ago. Ooh.
Well,
So that's not long after YouTube started, though, right? It was like a few years. Was it
think
like 2008 or something?
it was made in 2005, but I'm not sure when it actually became what it was. But yeah, like the top guy then was Ray William Johnson, if you ever knew who he was. Yeah, he was the main guy, and I think he had a million subscribers, maybe. It might not have even. It might have been a few 100,000.
It's crazy.
But yeah, when we started, yeah, so I think it was actually kind of crazy to start with. I don't know whether you guys know this anyway, but yeah, the first couple of months, like we got a partnership after 4 months of making videos, I think.
that's insane.
Yeah, compared to what it's like
Really good.
today.
And
that's
basically,
mad.
we had some problems with the AdSense. So basically, back in the old times, there was this thing called AdSense, where when they put adverts on your videos, but if too many people clicked on them, then they would just shut you down. You didn't even have a defense or anything. So basically, our like click rate for some of them was like it was broken. It didn't even. I don't even know how it would even happen. It was clicked more times than it was viewed, kind of thing. So it was obviously like broken and busted. So we got shut down. So we actually never made any money, which is crazy. We even set up a bank account for it and stuff.
But you got invited to like VidCon and
Yeah,
or
we went
Gamescom,
to
some of those,
games. Oh, whatever one's in London.
I don't know.
I can't
remember you
remember.
saying you
Yeah,
could have had
it
tickets
was-
for us one
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, yeah. I say, my friend Lewis still goes to them through the channel. We still get it.
Still
yeah,
get
so I think-
tickets to this day. That's
Yeah,
mad.
so it was 2013, I think we went. It was whenever the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were coming out, because we got to go and try them out for the first time before they were out. So that was pretty cool.
That's exciting.
Queuing up for like 20 minutes to play a game of COD and stuff. It was, and then it was actually just a really fun time. Yeah, just getting. So we got press passes, so we got in an hour early. Yeah, we didn't have to pay. Just stroll in and you see like a load of people having interviews and stuff, and we got our own like VIP section. You can go in and like get your coffees and whatever. So it's really cool considering like
You're the boys.
considering we got
who
stitched
owned that
up and
place.
couldn't even make any money.
Yeah,
It
you
was
got
actually
something out of it.
it was actually really fun. But wow, with the adverts actually, I recently disputed the fact that like this doesn't even make sense, because basically what I do for a job is look at statistics of things, any data, and make my point clear. Even no matter what the data says, it doesn't really matter. So now, me being in my job, it was easy to dispute that, because I could just say this data doesn't make sense, and this is why this figure doesn't match this figure doesn't match that, and they sent an email back and they're like, we're really sorry, you're not banned
Wow.
from it anymore.
Wow, that's
Wow.
crazy.
Which is
Only
crazy.
you did that earlier.
Well, the thing is, I didn't have the knowledge or the know-how to do it earlier. I would have just said, no, it's not
Didn't have the
fair.
balls.
So yeah, crazy. I mean, yeah, lost out on
Millions.
I don't know, millions. No, lost
could
out.
have been, like,
lost out on
PewDiePie or
like
something.
a few grand.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, and then in the design scene, I started in the summer because I had 3 weeks off of work. So I was like, oh, I'm going to redo one of my old projects, and yeah, that was really fun. Just getting out some editing videos and recording and just doing stuff like this, really. Just just chatting your way through. And
Was that in the summer?
It's fun. Yeah, it's the summer. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my first one, and I think I've done 6 or 7 since then, just with some projects. Yeah.
Any in the works currently?
There's ideas that I've got, but there's currently nothing that I've started, which is annoying because starting something's the hardest.
Yeah.
So like I kind of have different, I don't know, when I'm making videos, there's like different ways that I do it. It's like sometimes I get like super hype on one idea and I just completely just tank that idea and just constantly do it, and then halfway through I'm like, oh, I don't really like that. And then I start something else because I'm like, oh, this idea is going to be the best. And then I go back to the other one. And right now I have nothing that I'm on. There's nothing that I'm excited about. So I'm not sure. Because I have like
Would you
2.
do some videos about like Procreate because you're doing some sketching?
Well, yeah, I mean
that's
that's one of the ideas. Is that so? Right now I have 2 different types of videos. I have like my projects, and then I have like tutorials to like help other people. So I could do like a Procreate one of different styles or something, because I experiment with different styles. So yeah, what kind of videos do you guys want to make? I know you want to get up on that hype.
You certainly do. Harry, do you want to go first? Well, I guess we'll be a bit of back and forth anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're both yet to start one, but there's been videos in the planning for too long, I feel. So obviously I'm a lot more interested in, well, generally photography. But I've always wanted to do sort of more videography or just filmmaking anyway. So I've never made like videos before in my life, despite having had cameras and taken photos for like over 10 years, right? So I want to sort of have some element of that and learn a lot more of that skill of like sort of filming something nicely rather than just having like a locked off shot on a tripod. And like, so I and with that I also like making things, so the goal would be to make videos of me making stuff. I've had a lot of thought about what I want to do, and I was saying before I did that plant pot, designing a mold, 3D printing a mold, casting a plant pot as a video idea, because for me that's a relatively easy project. I'd done it before, so it would actually just be a skill in me, how am I going to make a video on this? But I struggled so much, because for me there's so many different ways that I could go about it. In terms of like make a YouTube channel, so you either have a guy that's sat there in front of a camera, full on talking, and then talking through every single step how to do it. So you could do it like that, as like an educational, how are you going to make this project? Or you'll have like a sort of the in-between. Okay, the other spectrum is there's never any talking. It's just some cool music, some cinematic shots, and then someone's making the product, and then people just enjoy seeing it, hearing the noises of someone making it, and stuff like that. Then there's the in-between, where it's like there's a lot of the like hand view of the people, so it's not really personal at all, but you just like the guy might be talking to the camera, you just see the guy's hands making stuff and do all those sort of things. And I have no idea what direction I want to go in, and I know it doesn't matter, you can always change, but I sort of feel like I want to try and get okay at one style. And I just don't know what style to start.
I think it's
I'm actually leaning on the fence of the middle one, so like a voiceover, potentially explaining some bits, but generally just like videos of my hands making stuff. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. A lot of the shots I did of making this plant pot, I like that. So who knows?
It's really interesting you say that, because I followed this Blizzard artist on YouTube, and he recently did this YouTube video where he talks about how the channel's changing, and then he talked about the analytics and what's working and what's not working.
Right.
And he said any video when his face is in it drops massively. So he's now just going to stop showing himself and just start recording it like that, just because he gets more viewership.
I
That's quite
think that
interesting.
is partially behind people are a lot more comfortable being talking and stuff when the camera's not on them.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially
yeah.
myself, if I'm just talking on this podcast, it doesn't really matter. 'Cause, I mean, there is a video, but like we can just talk and it's relatively flowing and it's fine.
Yeah.
If I'm sat just me looking down the barrel of a camera,
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
You get the sweats going.
I
don't
turn
you?
very strange very quick.
So
I'll say
do
things
I.
I would never say. So I think at least to start with, I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to be so awkward, and that is exactly what you don't want. You don't want to click on a video and someone just being really awkward in front of a camera. It's hard to watch. So I think I'm not going to have my face in. I think it's just going to be me making stuff. But I think based on the projects that I'm going to want to do, I'm going to need to have some sort of voiceover. I can't just do fully cinematic stuff because,
Yeah.
for example, there's potential for like this 3D printer project. I may as well try and film it, right? If I'm doing it.
Yeah. 100%.
I can't just no speaking make a 3D printer. It's a very complicated thing. I may as well explain bits and pieces or at least talk through what I'm doing. So that's sort of where I'm at. And I think that is based on there's a few YouTube channels that I follow that I really enjoy in the maker space. The main one, which I think I would probably do something similar, is this guy that blew up massively this year. Makes stuff here, and he's just this absolutely insane. He's very, very talented engineer, and he just makes the craziest things. Like he made a baseball bat that has some 50 caliber bullets inside that like bullet propel a baseball when he hits it in the right spot. He made golf clubs that like the head adjusts to the right angle to make him hit it further. So he does all these sort of things.
That's pretty
very,
cool.
very, very good videos. Like he's actually insane. He like fully machines all the parts of the projects, does all the programming and coding for everything. It is mad, his projects. But obviously I wouldn't be to that level. I'm not that good. But I'd quite like to just be able to have a channel where I could make stuff. It sort of be whatever I want to make. The sort of idea is I kind of just want to like make anything. So if I'm going to make a 3D printer from scratch, I kind of want to just like make a drone from scratch. That's a project I'd really like to do. And things like that. And just like my learning process behind all of those. Potentially. That's where I'm at the moment. It'll probably change by next week. And I know
No, I think you should.
this is a lot of
commit to it. Sounds
planning. I
good.
haven't even made one video yet. So,
Hard.
but yeah, we'll see. Because I'm going to be doing these projects
Yeah.
anyway. This is my mindset behind it. I'm going to make the projects anyway because I enjoy doing it. Maybe the added aspect of that is I can make videos, have fun making the videos as well. Just a double whammy
why
of
not?
fun.
Why not document it as well? You can look back
Yeah.
on it in a few
exactly. It'd be
months'
really
time.
nice to look back and be like, why did I do it that way? I was terrible. I'm so much better now. Whatever.
Exactly.
That'd be really cool.
I think when you're starting a project or when you're trying to get into YouTube, if you are uncomfortable on camera, you're then going to put it off, and then you're not going to do it, aren't you? So I think going down your route is probably the best idea, just so you are comfortable.
I think so. In terms of just like being able to output videos, I think it's definitely the best. For example, I did an introduction of me sitting in front of the camera like this. I've filmed it like 4 times. So instead of me just filming it once, putting it out there, I've sat down 4 different days and tried to film it and change it, and I'm just I just can't be bothered. I'm not doing it. I don't care.
It's too stressful.
So, it's just terrible. It just doesn't work. So I'm gonna you never know. Like it might evolve to then me being in front of the camera when I'm more used to it. But
yeah.
the main thing right now is to see if I will enjoy making videos. And if I'm sat here in front of a camera, it's just more stressful than enjoyable. So I'm
Definitely.
not going to do that to start with.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in kind of the same boat where I've got loads of ideas of things that I want to do, but I'm dead set on being on camera. I've kind of I've decided like I've got like a specific style that I want.
That's more for like the sort of videos you're making, though, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be a very different, even just topic of videos to mine. Mine are going to be so stupid. Hopefully, mainly for entertainment. There's going to be some level of
I
learning.
want to see that tea maker as well at some point in the future.
So
Oh,
yeah, you don't need to be educational at all.
No, exactly. I just want to
No.
make fun projects, right? Whereas Nick wants to do, correct me if I'm wrong, but you want to do almost purely educational design content.
Yeah, I think I'm not
Or
limiting
ballpark
myself
of
to
that.
it, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of the stuff, it's not going to be tutorials of sense. It's going to just be
More
my
like design theory
experiences.
and how
Yeah,
things
it's
work.
like theory, my experiences, things that I've done. I'm not going to recommend certain things because I don't have all the answers. I'm still pretty fresh within this industry, so I can only talk about the things that I've done and what I think, what has worked for me, as opposed to maybe other videos and tips that I've read. But there's this I've kind of found a couple YouTubers that I like their style, and I'm just going to flat out copy them in terms of like
Nailed
how
it.
they present themselves and things like that. Not the content.
No. Yeah.
Not the content.
We knew what you meant.
Get the script.
Yeah, just like
Not,
what
not
did he
the
say
content,
there?
but like the overall style. I kind of like the way they
Yeah.
present it.
I get what you mean.
I think
And,
that's the way you have to start, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the way you do it, and then you'll do it slightly differently. Then you'll see, oh, this is actually more natural for me, and then it will evolve naturally, won't it?
Because I got this really interesting idea that I want to. This guy that I followed, he's called Dan Petty, and he did a whole series on like freelancing. He was a graphic designer, I believe, and he's pretty good on YouTube. He's not posted for a while, but he did this thing called like the week like design show, where he talked about jobs happening in the scene every week, new products and what companies are doing, what the CEO of Twitter tweeted out, things like that. And he kind of just broke down what's happened in the week in terms of the design world. And I quite liked that idea of like looking through a lot of the design blogs that are out there and perhaps talking about some of the new products that are being released, my opinions on them, and maybe like, kind of down that route. I'm not entirely sure just yet, but I quite like the idea of doing like a news show almost of like the work that's going to be coming out.
Like new design products that might help people, or
yeah,
anything like that.
And it's going to mainly just be all the resources are going to exist online anyway, so it's just going to be me kind of talking about what I think or what they've said or what they've done and things like that. So that's kind of like an idea I want to go down, of like a weekly episode talking about what's new in design. I think that'd be quite interesting.
Also,
Just because I really loved his
I
YouTube
think that's
videos
good.
of that.
I think that'd be like obviously you need to do your research, find your content in that, but sort of quite easy to churn out,
Yeah,
like actually make
definitely.
videos and.
But his
and
editing was on point though. Like
It will have
the way
to
he
be.
edited the
With
video was
something-
brilliant.
Yeah, with
With something that's so simple, you need to have super clean editing and stuff like
Yeah.
that, wouldn't you? Yeah.
And he's also quite a funny guy, so that I guess that
You're screwed.
I'm a bit of a boring personality, so I guess we're gonna have to see
you're
my
fine.
maybe my style will just be extremely grumpy. I don't know yet.
you can get Final Cut on your
We'll
Mac
see.
as well, so you'll be good
Yeah.
for the editing.
Yeah, true. I don't know, that costs a lot of money though, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I think it costs a fair bit, but
Just
we'll see.
join the DaVinci Resolve Club.
yeah, I was thinking of just downloading that. It is Mac compatible, so that's a
Ooh.
bonus. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck of like, I will do some educational stuff because I think people do love tutorials. Tutorials are popular. People like, in terms of like viewership, I think tutorials are very popular. But maybe down the road, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet with that, but I'm not sure. And I think it's just going to be general like industrial design stuff, right? Try and get involved in that community, kind of like we're doing here. We've got the podcast going.
Yeah, I say set a day for doing your.
Yeah. So I
Doing
think
your
like
things.
overall the whole design scene is pretty small and very niche.
Yeah,
And-
it's a real strange one because other design, like the graphic design scene, is huge. There's sort of people with, loads of subscribers, and they get hundreds of thousands of, millions of views on their stuff.
Millions and millions.
Yeah, of them, redesigning popular logos or changing somebody's branding or colors or whatever. And yeah, you don't really see that for our sort of design. Changing products or...
There's a lot of potential for it as well.
For sure.
Because a lot of the topics they're the same. We're still designing something. They're designing something digitally. We're designing something physically. But it is a mix of, we are still doing digital work at the same time.
And
it's just a surprising thing that there isn't someone that's really big in industrial design.
You think
there are big YouTubers, but
you think
not
like
on
the
that
viewership
level, right?
should be there, because for the graphic design side, you get people that are interested in graphic design watching it, or like obviously, and you get somebody just looking at like, oh, they're changing the Coke logo. Oh, I drink Coke.
Yeah.
A sort of thing. Whereas like, if you were to redesign a Coke bottle, you'd still get those people that like a bit of Coke, having a look, as well as the designers. So, but I think there's also a lot more graphic designers. I think that's probably
is.
I think it's a lot easier to get into, to be honest. Because there's graphic
Don't
designers,
need as many resources, I guess, do you?
Yeah.
All sorts. So anyone who can draw could get into graphics design. I mean, I don't know how much of an advantage if you did a graphic design degree you do have. This is me just spitballing, but it's this very similar thing. Whereas like product design, there's a lot more of the, does it work though?
Yeah.
Side. You can't really get like, well, you can have a logo that's terrible, yeah, but
it's more opinion based.
You don't risk people's lives by designing a logo wrong rather than a product, right? Potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like if you were design, because we were talking about this earlier on, talking about maybe like smaller graphics compared to bigger graphics, and the repercussions if you were to design it wrong, like McDonald's, for example. Like you were saying earlier on, Andy, like all of the T-shirts that's got to go on, all of the billboards, etc.
It's a really simple design, yeah. But if like one pixel is off on that McDonald's logo, and it's being printed on hundreds of thousands of hats and signs and bags of chips and stuff, and you're just like, it's a
so I guess
risky.
like that's the same, right? In industrial design, like you're still going to have that same problem, but then we also have the problem of, it's a physical product. It's got to get manufactured, and it's got to work well. So I guess we have like another dimension to it almost.
I think that's like an extra step. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
we also do
cool,
have to consider the graphics as well, right? So,
I mean,
like any branding that's going to be on it.
Obviously, not putting down any graphics design. But yeah, I feel like in terms of like video content, you can make a logo, and then like it could be in theory done. Whereas a physical thing, it's not actually as exciting when you see a Creo model, a SolidWorks model, 3D model of a product. But that's not the end stage.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You don't see the physical thing.
That's not the end of that story.
Yeah, whereas like the logos, they slap it on a mock-up can, and you're like, wow, that basically looks like a real can,
That's what it would look like. Yeah.
That's very true.
Maybe that's why it's a lot more sort of accessible in the video format potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't see why product design or industrial design couldn't have that.
I agree.
Maybe a slightly different approach to it.
There's certainly some like fantastic YouTubers within industrial design already, and I just think it's still very small. Like a lot of them are big on Instagram, and then they've gone over to YouTube and kind of taken their Instagram following over. But I don't know, I feel like I could probably name less than 10 like half decent YouTubers within the industrial design scene right now. There's not many, whereas I feel like with graphic design there's some huge people, and I follow quite a few graphic designers because they talk a lot about freelance and business as well. So I just there's a lot of potential in the space, 100%.
Yeah.
We're looking to fill it.
Yeah, we're looking to fill it, and I do think that going into making stuff, I feel like that is still relatable as well, of like design, isn't it? You're just designing quirky stuff, where I think I guess I'll be talking more about commercially viable products rather than
mine
like
will
fun
not be.
things. I don't know.
Mine would definitely not be.
Oh, you
but
say that.
I
They would
think...
sell in Mankind, wouldn't they? So
Yeah, they
Definitely would.
The thing is with the style of thing, like if you're looking at like pretty much any of the maker or whatever you call them, maker YouTubes people,
Nailed it.
yeah, they have to be like you have to make the things very well. So like the quality of things you make makes a big difference. There's people like Michael Reeves who he's very clever. He makes robots. They are trashy as hell, but he's like a genius and a comedian, effectively. It's like his videos are very good because his coding is amazing, but he's made a robot out of like a pizza box. It doesn't matter about the actual quality of the robot. It's this dumb idea, but like because he's so funny, it makes good entertainment. He might be the exception because most other massive maker YouTubers, they all actually make very like high quality products. So we potentially have a journey, primarily because the only way that I can make things currently is 3D printing, which is why I want to make this printer to then potentially have a CNC milling machine. And if I could then cut metal, I could then make a sheet metal folder with my vise.
Look at this. It's all coming out now.
I'm just trying to make a workshop.
Give this guy one 3D printer and he'll print the world. Look at this. Make anything you want. Make something that makes something else that makes something else.
That's the goal, mate. Because if I could actually bend sheet metal, then you can make anything really. You can make anything sturdy, strong enough.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
On a
I'm
quick
waste
side
so much
tangent.
money making these stupid machines. Oh god.
It would be awesome though.
It would be.
I was looking up like edible food that was 3D printed earlier on. It's it looks minging.
Maybe I'll make one of them
couldn't touch
next.
any of that stuff that they 3D print. Oh dear, it's funny.
I always see that when I'm looking, because I've been researching a lot of printers and stuff, and people actually put that in like the pros and cons for products is like able to print like food stuff. I was like, what? I'm like,
Why
is that what people actually do?
Is that a pro?
I don't think it's a pro at all. Like,
I can't be bothered to go shop. I'm just gonna print a burger.
yeah, I'll eat it in 6 hours.
Yes, yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, I just think like a lot of people nowadays, I feel like you can kind of move away from this almost traditional 9 till 5 job now.
Hopefully.
Like a lot of people have transitioned into YouTube, and obviously not saying YouTube's easy. Like YouTube is so hard, but you just have so much more freedom.
You'd
doing
be
this
working the same amount of time as if you had a normal job. You'd just be
For sure.
doing
Or
fun
more, I
things
guess,
because you're making videos, right? That's the sort of other side. But I think it is a lot of work, especially like these big YouTubers, and they're like pumping out like a video every 2 days or something, like high quality videos. I think it's hard. It's very hard, but arguably it would beat working for someone in an office. No matter what hours you're working, right? If you can, if you're comfortable on something like that, where you're just chilling, working for yourself, that's pretty good, right?
It's kind of
I think so.
surprising how little subscribers you need to make it your job as well.
Absolutely.
Well, I was actually really surprised. Because I want a new PC because mine's terrible. So I was just looking at this guy which makes PCs, whatever. And then he had like an office tour. He has like 100,000 subscribers, and he's moved offices, and he's got 3 people working for him, and he's got 100,000 subscribers. And I was just like,
oh yeah, 100,000. You're making bank.
And I was just like,
and
obviously he must have some kind of job where he makes other people, like some sort of making computer
side hustle.
Yeah,
Doing
exactly.
something, yeah.
But like for four people to get paid off of that, and I was like, damn, that's. And he's got a big office and a big space with all his lights and camera set up and stuff.
A dream, right?
I just didn't think that was possible with that. I mean,
Yeah.
not that
Well,
100,000 isn't a lot. Like, that's a lot of people.
No.
There's a lot, yeah. Of
You-
course,
You see people like making YouTube their main thing on like less than 20k, on like 15,000 just for themselves. Obviously, it's sort of not rolling in money, but that's an income.
it is the sort of thing as well. Whereas if you're doing it on the side and you're getting a decent amount, the second that you make that switch to doing it full time, you've probably doubled your money just by putting out double the videos. You know.
Because the other thing to think about with YouTube, say you got 10,000 people, and then say us, so we're doing design stuff, then we make a model, whatever. You could then put 3 files for people to download for £3. You got 10,000 people looking at that, and a good percent of them might do it, or there's so many more ways through this that you could. You can get stuff like, for example, I've been thinking about YouTube for years now, because if I'm making wallets, selling prints or whatever, I have no what's the word? I've no people come to my website. I've literally nothing, right? So just having like a YouTube channel, it opens up so many more opportunities. Just having a following like that, you could then do whatever you want, and even if 5% of the people are interested in it and then purchase it, that's money you're making from nothing that you wouldn't have without that sort of following. So that's why you see so many YouTubers making these like online courses, because you put up once, the rest of your life that's making you money.
I think what I heard was, as like a YouTuber, you only need 1,000 true fans, and like to define a true fan, they said a true fan is someone who will buy anything from you. So if you released, as for example, a new pen, like a brush on Photoshop, they're going to buy it. Then if you release that same one on, a different drawing app, they're still going to buy it, even if they don't use that drawing app. And if you just have 1,000 true fans and you release a pen for £1, you've got £1,000 a month or something. Even if you just release one thing, right? One thing a month, these people will buy something. Like no matter what you release, they're going to buy it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a true fan. And then
that'd be hard to get 1,000 of them though. Like how many?
Yeah, it takes a long time.
So that'd be a lot.
It does take a long time. But say as soon as you get like you'll be surprised at what people will buy for the content creators that they like. I think.
Yeah, I think also you'll be surprised at what people buy anyway. Like I was on the Reddit. no, but it's actually really true though. Like I was on the.
Never heard a true.
I was on the industrial design Reddit page because I post some stuff on there and like and comment on people's stuff. And there was just some guy that was showing his Procreate brushes, and then like the top comment was, "Oh, I've just bought it. How do I install it?" And it had 7 upvotes, and I was like, "What? So does that mean that guy and 7 people have just bought this random guy's pack just because he put it on Reddit?" You're like,
and don't know how to.
It was $12. That's more than the app. The app's 10.
I just downloaded this paintbrush. How do I sketch well now?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like it wasn't a bad brush. I'm not like slating the brush. It was probably very useful, but like it's just crazy that people would insta buy that.
People buy it, yeah. Like it's especially like if they are doing a lot of content and they're like, "Hey, everybody, I've just made this new brush," and then they do like some amazing sketches with this brush. And then people are like, "Oh, if I get that brush, I can sketch like that."
Yeah.
Incredible. And then they buy the brush and they realise that they still don't have the drawing abilities.
That's
but
the
they still got the brush.
Is if you look at like that person's early stuff, they were just using the soft air brush and stuff, and they were nailing it with that. Like,
yeah, the brush does nothing.
The brush didn't give them the ability. The brush just enhances the ability you've already got. Oh.
Yep. I mean, I have fallen victim to the same thing, to be fair. I haven't bought brushes, but I've been like debating on what software I want to sketch on because I've got more brush options in one or the other. Not saying like I can use both, crazy
There's some
idea,
really good
but
free brushes out there too. Like I've got one on Procreate that's just like a marker. That's really good. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just sat here jealous because I'm stuck with pencil and paper.
Yeah, but I do like... I've come across a new website recently And I've heard a lot of the like industrial designers on Instagram talk about it all the time, and I can never quite catch what they're saying because they say it so quickly. There's a website called Les Manouches. I don't know if you've ever heard of Les Manouches.
Sorry,
And there's
I thought you
loads
said
of
it
like-
before,
Sorry, yeah,
so-
sorry, I was way too quick.
Oh, Les Manouches. Solid
You
website.
just set us
good
up
sketching
there. I mean,
tips.
we were never going to
Too
hear it.
easy. It's too easy.
It's all good. But honestly, like the stuff that he never ever does digital sketching on his website, and it's all like hand done, and he uses markers. I was like, you don't need to digital sketch. You know? It's just a tool.
It's
at the
just
end of the
it's
day, isn't
easier.
it? Yeah, it's like you don't need to refill the markers. I guess that's the benefit, isn't it? Saving yourself money just because you don't need to buy the tools constantly.
In the long run. Yeah.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, an iPad's probably cheaper than buying loads of markers.
Oh my god!
Post-its.
Unless you're only buying greys, even just the greys are expensive. But if you're buying like a full set, that's the price of an iPad anyway.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And then you got to
Yeah.
refill
But
those
there's
bad
something
pads.
nice about drawing by hand.
Oh,
isn't
it's
there?
very satisfying. You can't beat the feel of drawing
It's also
on proper
terrifying when you've done a really, really good pencil sketch. You know, right, I'm going to put some markers on this bad boy, and then you're like you're terrified.
shaking.
And you end up
You're
ruining
shaking.
it because yeah.
You know what's really
Whereas on an
sad?
Instantly
iPad,
go
you
out
can
the
just
lines.
do an undo button.
Damn it.
Yeah, you know what's really
Just
sad
Control
is
Z
now I tap 2 fingers on my paper because that's how you undo in Procreate.
That's
Or like
hilarious.
That is
you go to
sad.
zoom in, you're like,
Wait,
do you finger and
enhance.
thumb, and you're like, why is
Wait,
that?
I can't zoom in.
It's really bad when you do that.
That's
not good.
hilarious.
That's not good.
I started using Adobe Fresco recently on the Surface, and it's essentially because Windows don't have Procreate, and Procreate is the best app out there. Adobe made their own version of Procreate, and it's called Adobe Fresco. It's pretty decent. You've got to pay for, because there's the simple things like if you hold down the line, you sketch a line, you hold it down, it goes straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. Things like that, these other drawing tools don't have. You actually need to get the line tool out or get the ruler out and things like that. So it's a good app so far. I'm enjoying it, but still no Procreate. I think Procreate is just it's the boy, isn't it?
It's the
Procreate.
boy. Yeah. Thank you for everyone for sticking around and watching. We have been the Great British Design Podcast. Any closing thoughts?
Thanks for watching.
Nailed it.